You can check out his work over at 973ESPN.com, his extra point columns. Dave Weinberg joins me now on the Boardwalk on the hotline. Follow on Twitter at Dave Weinberg 19 with some perspective on the Eagles. Because, Dave, as I mentioned before, you've seen all of these incarnations of this team from Buddy Ryan to Doug Peterson, so I'm glad you could jump on this week.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. That means I'm old, I guess.
Well, I want to call you old. I want to call you that you've seen a lot and you can bring a lot of information to the table. That's what I think of it as.
Okay, experienced. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So one of the things with experience comes with the fact that, as you mentioned in your column, your extra points column, is that, listen, for all the speculation about Hurts or any of these rookies, the fact that there is no minicamp, there is no OTAs. We haven't even seen a situation even similar to this since the 2011 lockout, where these guys are not getting the experience on the field. Talk about how important of an issue that is.
Yeah, that's invaluable to be able to be out there, not only learning the system but implementing it, and the fact that they're not getting the opportunity to do that is a big hurdle that they have to climb. Like I wrote, Jalen Hurts is very talented, and I know there was a lot of people even expecting him to have a big role in the offense, but I wouldn't go that far, at least in the beginning. Because like I said, the fact that he's not getting any on-field experience in the grass, as Doug Peterson likes to say, that's really going to slow his progress, I think.
When you think about this offseason as well, speaking of progress, one of the things we've been talking about this week, Dave, is the whole Andre Dillard situation. There are all the reports and rumors out there about, is Jason Peters going to come back? Is he not going to come back? And I have to think that if this offseason wasn't the way it is, if we weren't in the situation the whole world was in, that has to have a huge impact on why the Eagles would stay in touch with Jason Peters, because Dillard as well is not getting that offseason workout.
Yeah, that's true. I'm of the mindset I think that Andre Dillard is going to be the left tackle, only because I just feel like if they were going to bring Jason back, they would have done it already, especially given the circumstances. But Doug Peterson seemed pretty confident in Andre and his potential, and they seem pretty comfortable with him. At least getting the first crack at that left tackle spot. So I guess they'll probably have Jason on speed dial if he doesn't sign with another team. I'm sure they're willing to bring him back, but I know that he wants to start. He doesn't want to be a backup. So I guess they're just going to ride with Andre for now and hope that he can fill those shoes.
Yeah, Doug used that word confident multiple times on Tuesday. Being around the Eagles and hearing this kind of verbiage before, Dave, how much do you think is that them just trying to reaffirm the message, and how much of that is, Doug actually being confident in Dillard?
That's a good point. I don't know that they're all in on Andre, but I do think that they drafted him in the first round for a reason, which is what, Doug pointed out. And, this is his time. This is his chance, his opportunity. He spent a year learning the system. There was some good, more bad probably, but I think he's better off for it. And as Jason Kelsey and some other guys have said, the biggest drawback with him is he has the quickness and the footwork and the knowledge of the game to play left tackle. It's just that the strength was lacking a little bit. So I would think like an off season, you really don't need to be on the field to build your strength up. So hopefully, and they're hoping that he's taking advantage of these virtual workouts to get the strength that he was sort of lacking last year, bulk up a little bit, and maybe that's the only maybe that was the only thing that's really holding him back. I guess that's the way the Eagles feel anyway.
Dave Weinberg joining me on the Boardwalk on the hotline on 97.3 ESPN. Dave, aside from obviously Hurts, Dillard, stuff like that, do you have any other issues right now with the Eagles as this offseason progresses and knowing there's not going to be no mini camps, no OTAs? Are there some other issues that you're looking at and saying, man, if they had the mini camps and the OTAs, I could have these questions answered, but I just can't because I can't actually see what's going on. There's no experience for some of these guys.
Yeah, I would guess like the main issue, I guess, is probably the rapport between Carson and the new receivers that they have, and the guys coming back. I mean, even Deshaun missed most of the year last year, so I would guess they're going to find a way to get together at some point and work together, even before training camp starts. But for the time being, I think that chemistry that Wentz needs with his receiving core, Jalen Reagor and some of the other new guys, I think that's going to hamper them a little bit. But I will say that I do think that the Eagles have a little bit of an advantage. I know we probably talked about it in the past over the rest of the NFC East, and the fact that their coaching staff, their head coach and coordinators are largely intact, whereas Giants, Redskins, Cowboys are all bringing in new coaches. So even Dak Prescott and Daniel Jones and those guys, they all have to learn new systems. Whereas Carson and company already have that. The veterans already have that system in place.
And Dave, before I let you go, just a quick thought on the news locally. The LPGA Shopper LPGA Classic has been moved to September 28th through October 4th. To me, it's some great news to me, Dave, that something that has been a huge part of the local landscape in our area for a long time is still going to continue this year.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's big. It's a big boost to the region, and as far as just from a sports perspective and an economic perspective, people may or may not know it's probably the biggest sporting event that we have every year, and the fact that the LPGA thinks enough of the area and of the job that the ShopRite Classic does to keep them on the schedule, that really says a lot about the confidence and the faith that they have in them. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm thrilled that they're going to be holding it this year, even if it is in the fall. I don't care as long as they're going to hold it.
Absolutely. And of course, let people know that Dave will be joining me each week on Wednesdays. We're going to bring back the Weinberg Wednesday moving forward here on the warm up on 97.3 ESPN. Dave, and I appreciate you joining me each week, because I feel like listen, there's a lot to talk about, even though there's not actually sports going on right now. It feels like we can't get away from the news every week. It's just the way the world is going.
Yeah, that's true. And Josh Roy, I want to thank you for having me. That's really, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to talking to you every Wednesday.
Absolutely. Of course, people can follow you on Twitter. Of course, you have the Extra Points column at 97.3 ESPN, ESPN.com at Dave Weinberg 19. As all guests, Dave joins us on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. Appreciate the time today, Dave.
All right, Josh. Take care. Thanks again.